Hey everyone, it's David here from Surplus Fund. I want to thank you for watching this video. Today I'm going to go over a video from me from a couple weeks ago where you guys all know that I do my online infamous calling people and letting them know that they have funds they didn't know they had as part of the course. I do it on my YouTube channel. This is one where it is obstacle, and I'm going to go over the importance of knowing your script and why you should know your script. But do me a favor, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do that first. Go and click the link down below. Click the notification link. I'd love for you to be one of my lucky winners. All right, let's go ahead and look at this. And I'm going to go ahead and go over this section. Pause it, stop it, and talk about how I overcame this one. The first one was a phone call I got from a friend who actually gave me the same name of the gal that I was trying to get a hold of, which was pretty cool. Lean went over, so it looks like there would be a little surplus here. Okay, so she first of all asks me, and I give her some confidential information, but she asks me about the surplus, about a possible lien on the property. We go over that, and now we're actually looking at the surplus. And here's how the conversation evolves here. But yeah, we specialize. I mean, we could show you our credentials. We work with the team of attorneys. We're JD Vista. We're a corporation, and I can show you.
How do you find? May I ask? How do you find things like this, your business, for that, this property? And
okay, so if someone asks you that, and this lady had been drilling me up until this point, they want to know about you, and you have to be ready to answer that. You have to be ready in your script to be able to say who you are. Now, the bottom line is this is public information, and it is information that you have to be ready to be able to answer on the spot. So let's go ahead and look at my reply to her on this. Public records, and it's public information. And a lot of times when properties like this go up for auction, so this is public record, first of all. So it goes up and it's public record on the auction. And then, and right now I'm working with a family member of a situation very similar to you, except it was her late husband. Same thing. He passed. She's got almost the same amount you have here. It's 17,000. She had no idea this is in here. And like when people say I don't want to work on it, I'm like, I don't want to. I'm afraid to pursue this. I'm like, okay, so you're afraid to. I'll show you the auction. I'll show you the date, the details, the overage. I'll email you all the information. I won't bug you at all, but literally, I'll show you where the money's there. And with your permission, this can be retrieved. And so I say a loaded amount there. I'm under fire. She's on the verge of hanging up. She's telling me all throughout this call that she doesn't like the call. She doesn't like the fact that she's been contacted. And I've asked people before, I've said, can I ask why you would walk away from 17,000? Oftentimes it's a turning point, or I had one guy in Florida one time and it was 8,000. I said, can I ask you why you walk away from 8,000? He said, no, you can't. And he hung up the phone. It was crazy. But let's go ahead and continue to look at this. It would, I mean, like, why would you walk away from 17,000? What I ask people, but yeah, it's public information. This is what we do. This is our business. We work in the.
So your company will get 30% of that 17,000.
Correct. And if we're unsuccessful, this would be a probate. It's going to be a little more paperwork. If we're unsuccessful in retrieving it for any reason, you would pay nothing, which is all over the paperwork. I mean, it would be really stupid.
So my sister and I would not. The family members do not pay anything.
Correct. You would pay absolutely nothing.
Your company gets your cut.
So prior to this, she asks me. She says, "Why would I give you any information? I've read reviews on a company that contacted us and they were horrible. I know of someone who just lost their full bank account." And that's pretty loaded data right there. When you get something like that, it's pretty scary because you're dealing with someone, you're dealing with the trust issue here. How do I fire back at that? Well, I'm not going to ask her for any information. I'm going to show her all the paperwork. She's going to have everything up front. I'm not even going to ask her for a bank account. I'll mail her a check. I just make that very clear to her. When you get paid, we'll be paid direct. It goes into an escrow account and we'll be paid, and you would be paid directly. Correct.
I don't want to get myself into a situation that I know nothing about. I really don't.
Okay. How about this, ma'am? And let me, if I could verify your email, I can email you the paperwork. I promise I will not bug you for anything.
May I ask, how do you find things like this, your business, for that, this property? And
So it is public records and it's public information and an auction, and it went for over the asking price. So we do this, but there was a property he had. I have the address here, but the opening bid was for 4,000. This to go, we'd like to move forward with this with you. And I think you've got one other sister, Susan, and you would pay enough, like, ma'am.
I really don't want to mess with this because I don't know who you are, and I know you're telling me, you know, his information. I understand that, but we had no say so with that home, and he owes the bank, and what our understanding was that the bank. Well, I don't know. I don't know, because we didn't really know his business, but I don't know.
Okay, so he had a loan on it from 2007. It looked like it was fairly small, and it looked like it was a countrywide loan. Those were always the loans from you know where. And then he had a city lien on it, and the city lien went over. So it looks like there would be a little surplus here. So it goes up, and it's public record on the auction. So you always want to say that. You always want to start off by saying it's public record, and we pull this from public record. You have to let them know how you got their information. And then, and right now I'm working with a family member of a situation very similar to you, except it was her late husband. Same thing. Okay, so I tell her that how the company works. I tell her what we do, and she's a lot more comfortable with this. When you get paid, we'll be paid direct. It goes into an escrow account, and then we'll be paid, and you would be paid directly. Correct.
And it also contacted my sister, and I don't know if he was from your company or what.
No, it's crazy because I had tried her sister, and I did leave her a message, and then I found this gal. This gal was extremely hard to find, but I'm not the guy she's talking about.
I pulled his information up. It was a certified business down south. It was a business, but there was some reviews that were really, really bad. They got into their bank account, and they froze the family's bank account because they didn't get their money. It was just and stuff like that. You know, the world's ugly to start with.
Ma'am, what I'll do is I promise you, I will ask you for none of your personal information. I mean, I will need your name and address and stuff like that, which I already have, but I will ask you for, and you're right, 100%. We could do this by mail. You can see our license. You can see our attorney license, which in this case, we will have our attorney. It would be stupid for him to put his own.
Where are you located?
So I'm trying to stick with data here. She's right. This lady's in her 70s, and she's seen people get scammed on the internet. She wants to make sure that I'm not going to scam her 100%. So our corporation is in California. That's a great question. It's in California, and we have attorneys, and we specialize a lot in Florida. We work with the Florida attorney that would help you out in this situation.
So if we decided to do this after we look at your information, that
right there, I'm getting some hope at the end of the tunnel. If we decide to do this, again, she needs a sense of empowerment. Yes, ma'am, I'm going to totally work with you. I can do whatever I can. It would be great if you did this.
And that you know that you're legit, then if we okay it, this paperwork is fine, it's for you, for your company, and you would automatically get the top of the 17,000. And then we would get the rest, and we're that's it. It's case closed.
Correct, and it would have to go.
And we would not have any bank or anybody coming at us and saying we want your money.
So right there, she's asking for reassurance. You could tell she wants this and she wants to trust me, but she's really super nervous about the data. It's data that saves you every time. Here's what I am. Here's what I do. Here's the information. Here's how we're going to get it. With your permission, let's move forward. And I had to say this to her 4 or 5 times in this conversation. None, absolutely none. It'll be in the contract. It'll be all of it. I literally would be wasting my time. And you were very hard to find, ma'am. I feel like I crossed the finish line because I've been looking. It looked like Thomas Cravey had a lot of great credentials, but you were a very hard person because the only family member he had was his mother. And I literally spent probably about half an hour trying to find you. Literally,
he was never married, and our mother had passed away, and then he passed away, and we picked a few things up from the mobile home that was really nothing in the property, and we just left it because he had left it too.
Yeah, and it's sad. It looked like he was young. It looked like he was in his 50s.
He was.
That's
He
really
was.
sad. Yeah, that's really sad. But yeah, I will not.
He died suddenly.
We will file on behalf of the court. It would have to go for a probate court. There would be. The one thing I did do bad, and I was pretty nervous here, is when she said he died suddenly, I kind of cut her off. I empathize, and I do. I hate people. I'm in my 50s. I hate to see people so young die. I see people in their 60s, even their 70s. I think is kind of young. And I always hate to see that. I should have empathized with her a little bit more. Again, I'm nervous here. I've got people watching me. I've got about 50 people on the line. And I say things that are wrong all the time. All the time I say things that are wrong. But if you stick to your number one thing, which should be data, you stick to the facts. It went for over the asking price. There's funds here. They've been reported. They're just sitting here. With your permission, I'd like to move forward and stick to the script and data. And yeah, you're going to get under fire. I was definitely under fire in this video quite a bit. Paperwork that our attorney would take to the court. I'm going to be honest with you on that. We would cut you a check. I will not ask for I will not ask for any personal information that you have.
So if we decide, my sister and I would decide that, we'll sign this, then you would cut a check to me or her, and we would divide that money up.
You would get a check. Your sister would get a check because you'd be half an hour. Because it looks like if my database serves me correctly, the only two people I have on that are relatives that I can find are you and Susan. Are the only two relatives that I've been able to locate. And
that's it.
It would go to the nearest blood relatives. In this case, it would be you. The way it would work is we would have a check cut to you. We would have a check cut to Susan, and then and we would mail you the check. I will not ask you for any routing or banking information because you're right, the world's in a good place. Just so you know a little bit about me, and I'll even show you pictures. I've got 2 little kids. It would be really stupid for me to do something because I don't want to do anything to put them in jeopardy, ma'am. So I mean, I'll show you pictures.
If you will just send me, if you would send me some information on what the process, whatever we need to kind of say, well, let's do this, or no, let's don't mess with.
Bam. If you'll send me the information. She went from how do I know you're not fraud? How do I know this? I don't trust you. Bam. Send me the information. Did I get the deal? We're still working on this one. I don't know. But from a lady saying, hey, I don't want to be bothered. I don't like you. I don't like the fact I'm being called, to ma'am, here's the data, here's the information to go ahead and send this to me. I actually verify her address with her on the phone. I read it off to her. She was very comfortable with that and getting ready for the paperwork. So I'm showing you this video to give you an idea of what the data is and how important the data in your script is. I always say, you never know what you're going to be asked, when, where, and what time, and you got to be ready. You got to be ready to be under fire for any one of those questions that might come in any order. Hey, everybody, I want to thank you for watching this video. Feel free to give me your comments and any questions or anything you have on your link down below. I'll be showing you more videos like this. I do my live videos usually the last Monday of every month, and it's usually about 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll jump on and I'll do some live calls on my YouTube videos. And if you're listening, you have to just remember this is for script and for educational purposes. It's really to help people understand what to say and how to say it. I appreciate you guys watching, and I noticing I'm doing it on camera now. I notice I do this a lot in my chair a lot, so it's kind of something I need to work on with my camera skills here. But more than anything, I appreciate you all watching. I appreciate you taking the time, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.